So Druski dropped another skit. On the surface, yeah, it's funny. The outfits are crazy. The characters are exaggerated. Kind of, sort of, not really. I mean, it's really on point. The whole thing feels like somebody took a family cookout, a hood block party, a court case, and threw it all in a blender. But underneath the joke, there's something real. Some people don't stay stuck because they don't have options. Some people stay stuck because the hood gave them something the real world never did. Status, identity, control, and recognition. A reason to honestly feel important. And when that becomes your entire personality, leaving the hood doesn't feel like growth. But let's get to it. Cue the clip.
This that Raymundo Reacts, huh? Y'all came in for the laughs, huh? You did. Stay for the commentary cause it makes sense, huh? Real talk.
That boy is good.
I raise all these niggas. I raise all these niggas. I raise these niggas. I raise this nigga. These young niggas look up to me, man. 10 generations of the hood, man. Show love to your hood, man. Y'all niggas come back and feed the streets. Be a big homie to your hood, man. You niggas love me out here. I be that Pyro 1560 bloodhound. I'm finna start this streaming shit. Yeah, I'm finna start getting on live mode. Yeah. Bro, you just know how this shit be, bro. Like, I don't ask nobody for shit, dog. I appreciate the unicorn. Y'all send a galaxy. Y'all send a galaxy in the chat.
Now see, this is why Druski is good at what he does. He's not just dropping random costumes. He's taking a type of person we've all seen before and exaggerating it till you can't ignore it. And the reason people are laughing is because there's truth to it. Not everyone from the hood acts like this. Let me say that early before somebody starts typing with Cheeto dust all on their fingers talking about nuh-uh. Now I'm not talking about every black person. I'm not talking about every person from the hood. I'm talking about a mindset, because there are people who grew up in rough environments, learned from it, matured, got wisdom, and did something better. But then there are some people who never mentally leave. They get older, they change clothes, they get a new title, they may even start talking differently. But mentally, they're still chasing the same approval from the same environment. And that's where the conversation starts. The hood can become a comfort zone. And I know to some that sounds crazy because most people think of comfort as peace. But comfort ain't always healthy. Sometimes comfort is just familiar. If you grew up in chaos, well, chaos may begin to feel normal. If everyone around you respects aggression, aggression can feel like confidence. If everybody recognizes your name because you're loud, dangerous, funny, feared, or connected, that can start to feel like accomplishment. And that's the trap. Because in the hood, you can feel like somebody without actually becoming somebody. You might not own anything. You might not be building anything. You may not be moving forward, but people know you. People speak when you come around. They react to your presence. People know your stories. And if you never really had real validation anywhere else, that type of attention can feel like success. That's why some people don't want to leave mentally, because outside of that environment, they feel like they might have to start over. And starting over means becoming normal. Some people would rather be hood famous than regular and growing.
Same partner right here with same shit. That same spot. Right here. I was with their daddy. I was with their daddy around that time. They don't even know what happened. Nigga about this tall, man.
So let's talk about them allegations. How your lawyer beat a 40?
No. I was facing 40. It was a probation violation. What I went when I did. I raised these folks, man. Oh yeah. I raised these niggas. From the south, she want me to touch up on her butt. I'm really lost. She tapped my name. I done it all the bitches.
I was my first beating and I drunk a Sunny D. Started lurking with my ski. It was 1 degree. Glock 23 on me. I just wanna be.
Now that's the part people don't want to admit. Street fame is still fame. It probably ain't gonna come with the mansion. It may not come with the blue check. It may not come with real power, but emotionally, it could feel the same. I mean, people know your name. People tell stories about you. People either love you, fear you, or pretend to respect you. And when you're young, that could be intoxicating, because if nobody taught you how to build identity through discipline, purpose, faith, work, family, or creativity, then reputation becomes your identity. Now, you're not trying to become better. You're trying to stay known. And that's a dangerous place to live, because the version of you that got attention at 19 might be the exact reason that destroys you at 35. At some point, what made you look popular starts making you look stuck. The tough talk gets old. The street stories get old. The everybody knows me energy gets old. The drama gets old. At that point, they're just looking at you like an old head. And eventually, people start asking, are you growing, or are you just still performing for the same crowd? That's what Druski's skit is touching, whether people catch it or not. And let's be honest, we all know somebody like that. They'll be 42 years old still talking about, man, back in 09, they knew I was him. My guy, it's 2026. Your knees probably cracking when you step out the car. You're not the final boss anymore. You're literally somebody's uncle with unresolved issues. Respectfully, the deeper thing is actually control. For some people, the hood gives them that control they can't get anywhere else. In the real world, you have to be disciplined. You have to be patient. You have to answer to somebody. You have to be corrected. You have to learn new skills. You have to compete in spaces where nobody cares about your street cred. But in the hood, if you have a name, you can move like you matter. People know and respect your history. They know your fam. They know what you did. They know what you claim. So you don't have to prove yourself in a new way. You can just keep replaying the same old version of yourself. That's why growth feels uncomfortable, because growth requires humility. And humility is hard when your entire identity was built on being feared, respected, or untouchable. Some people don't want freedom. They want familiar power. That line right there is the heart of this video. Some people simply don't want freedom. They want familiar power.
Yeah, what I just did? What I just did, man? I done came down here, bought everybody a bottle. I done came down here, yeah. What I came down here and did. What I came down here and did.
Now, let's dive into something real. For some people, leaving the hood mentality feels like betrayal, because if you grow, people will feel like you changed. If you speak differently, people will start saying, oh, you think you better than me. If you stop hanging around the same chaos, they say you switched up. If you avoid the same places, they say you're acting funny. So some people stay connected to dysfunction just to say they kept it real. But real is not staying stuck. Real is being honest with what's hurting you. Oh, that's a bar. Real is knowing when a chapter is over. Real is being able to say, I came from that, but I don't have to continue living like that. There's absolutely nothing wrong with loving where you came from. There's nothing wrong with honoring your people. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with remembering the struggle. But there is a difference between remembering where you came from and worshiping the environment that almost broke you. The difference matters, because some people don't actually love the hood. They love who they got to be there. They love the reputation. They love the attention. They love the power. They love the feeling of being known. And that's why they can't move forward. Now, later in life, some people do change. They find religion. They become motivational. They become spiritual. They start talking about peace, growth, God, discipline, and purpose. And listen, I'm not against that at all. Change is possible. People can grow. People can repent. People can mature. People can become better than the worst version of themselves. But I do think we can ask a fair question. Did the person change because their heart changed? Or did they change because the old identity stopped working? Because sometimes people don't let go of the ego. They just put a new outfit on it. They go from street status to holy status. From fear me to don't question me. From I run this block to I'm above correction because I found God. And that's not transformation. That's rebranding. Real change comes with humility. Real change comes with accountability. Real change makes you honest, not more untouchable. So yes, people can change, but real change isn't just changing the language. It's changing the spirit behind the behavior. This is why the skit works. It's funny because it's exaggerated, but it hits because it's familiar. We've all seen someone who's aged physically, but stayed mentally attached to the same mindset. Still chasing respect, still chasing attention, still needing people to know that there's somebody. Still acting like growth is weakness, still confusing maturity with being soft. But growing up, it's not weakness. Moving different isn't weakness. Leaving the old mindset isn't weakness. It's strength, because anybody can stay the same around people who reward them for being the worst version of themselves. It takes courage to become somebody new when the old crowd still wants the same old you. That's real growth. And that's what some people are afraid of. Not failure, not success. They're afraid of becoming unknown. So here's my final verdict. Druski's skit was funny, but the reason it works is because it exposes something real. Some people never left the hood because it gave them identity. It made them feel known, it made them feel powerful, and it made them feel respected. It made them feel accomplished even if they weren't building anything. And when that becomes your entire identity, growth feels like a loss. But at some point, you have to ask yourself, do you want to be known for someone you used to be? Or do you want to become someone who you're supposed to be? Because being hood famous might make people remember your name, but growth gives your life a future. And those are not the same thing. But I want to know what y'all think. Was Druski just being funny? Or did the skit touch on something real about people who never mentally leave the hood? Drop it in the comments. Until next time, if you enjoy the content, stay locked in. Hit that sub to the right and to the left, more dope content. Don't forget to hype up this vid. Until next time, I'm out.
This that Raymundo Reacts, huh? Y'all came in for the laughs, huh? You did. Stay for the commentary cause it makes sense, huh? Real talk.
That boy is good.